Oh, I know the song.
Are you talking about
Watchmen?
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Watchmen, it is called Comanche Strengths of Martial Horsemanship.
Martial Feats of Comanche Horsemanship.
That's the name of the episode.
There we go.
I'm Ryan Leopoulos. Of course, I'm joined always by Sparks Witty, Ben Magnet. We're still talking about Watchmen on HBO.
Yes, we are.
I guess
This is Fake Nerds Watch, by the way.
it is.
Fake
You can
Nerds.
see down here or up
Fake
here.
Nerds Watchmen.
TikTok. I don't wear watches. I live in the 21st century.
I love
Alright,
watching men.
I got a
Oh,
phone.
oh, okay.
Hey man, it's a... Oh, that's a creature. Oh, I thought it was more sexual, but it's more devious. Speaking of devious, let's talk about this episode of Watchmen, guys. I thought this was another really good episode.
Yes, it was.
It's still unraveling more mysteries and solving them, which is fine because we're still early. But, Ben, you called something.
I did.
That, I didn't actually expect to happen because it's kind of a trope. But,
It is.
but
But at the same time, it's like, I had a feeling. Because what tipped me off is when, when Angela picked up the phone in the last episode, and the voice in the line said, "Are you Angela so-and-so?" I forget her last name. "Is your father so-and-so?" I'm like, okay, I have a feeling. There has to be a line. There has to be, like, some sort of connection. Either close family friend, family member themselves.
Yeah.
And I was right. It was her grandfather. So,
Yeah.
yay me. I called it. And I got it right.
Speaking of the grandfather, let's talk about Will, because it starts this episode again. But earlier than the Tulsa riot of 1921, it actually goes to World War I, where Will's dad served. And it starts with a German commandant? Commandant? Is that the word? Air commandant?
Close enough.
A bad Nazi guy.
Actually, no, not Nazi.
No?
No, the Germans weren't Nazis at this point.
Oh, sorry, pre-Nazi.
They were just like the German military.
They're
They
still,
were
they're still the
Nazis.
bad guys in World War I, though. So let's don't forget. Just saying.
Right.
Just saying.
World War I's a cluster shag. I'm not gonna go.
I was about to say, Ben, I'm pretty sure they're the bad guys in World War I.
Yes, but
There's
also
caveats. War is a crazy time. Anyway,
World War I is a cluster shag.
Pre-Nazi German guy asked one of his secretaries to translate and write this English document to pass out to black soldiers of America who are stationed in Germany. And he's like, "Hello, boys. Why are you fighting us? We ain't so bad. We actually like black people in Germany. We don't like lynch ya or don't like to have businesses. There's prospering people in Germany everywhere." And they're just like throwing them from airplanes. And
that's how they would spread propaganda back in the World War I.
Yeah, that's super
and
weird.
As Will's dad catches one of these pamphlets, one of his CEOs, I would say like commanding officer, he strolls by on horseback, spits at him.
One of his fellow soldiers.
A white commanding officer spits at him. He folds it and puts it in his pocket, and eventually his son sees it, and that's the note where
watch over this boy.
Watch over this boy.
It's an important note.
Yeah,
it follows throughout all the time.
Yeah.
We see him get the note, and then Will discovers the note, and then it cuts to the future, and Judd's dead again. Oopsie doopsie. It's still
Judd's
sad.
Dead. He's hanging from a tree, and we get to where the last episode cut off.
Yeah,
where Angelo drives up and she sees him, puts him in the car, drives him to the bakery. The bakery.
Yeah.
I almost call it the Batcave, but it's not the Batcave.
The Batcave Bakery. Yeah.
Well,
the Bakecare.
The Bakecare.
It's the bakery land.
Or
okay, got it.
Or because she's like a nun, the confessional booth.
Those are some holy cakes.
I don't know. She's dressed as a sister. I don't know.
She kicks ass for
the Lord. I don't go
Lord.
to church. I don't know these things.
Yeah, we're not Hosier. We don't get taken to church. So she starts interrogating him. It's like, "What's going on? Who are you?" He's like, "Maybe I'm Dr. Manhattan. You don't know. I could be." He shape changes all the time. She's like, "He doesn't do that," and that's a point that's made multiple times in this episode.
The point is that he's on Mars.
Not just that he's on Mars, but he can't look like other people. And he's a guy who has like omnipotent power. He can see the past, present, and future. He can grow 100 feet tall. He can have multiple versions of himself, but he can't change what he looks like. I call shenanigans, and I think the show is making us look at that.
I was going to ask you, I'm like, was that established in the book?
But also, like, again, he's a godlike being, and we haven't seen all of his powers.
Yeah.
Right.
He can create a dozen versions of himself and be all around the world. So I don't
Like,
think it's out of the realm of possibility
like
for
he
this
could
guy.
change. Like I remember, this was actually a big part, or not a big part, but this was a scene in the book when he goes on television for the first time.
Yeah.
The
His
makeup,
color is too bright.
The makeup guy's like, "That blue is too bright for television," so he darkens his own blue. He's like, "Is this better?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's perfect. We don't have to."
Yeah,
You're good.
so I think it's one of these almost like, because he is such like a mythic figure, they don't know everything about him.
Yeah.
So I think there's more to this story of like, oh, he can't become a person because they wouldn't smash it on the head so many times this episode from different people.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a big point. I don't know if Will is connected to Dr. Manhattan or anything. There's actually a prevailing theory online that Will is the original Hooded Justice, because in the comics we don't actually know who Hooded Justice is, and he's running through this entire show. And the whole American hero story is about him, and like, who am I under the mask? And it also relates to Angela, who is her grandfather. So I think he might be Hooded Justice. I think that's a cool idea. He's wearing a red outfit.
That actually,
he's old enough to and like, your parents never told you about me.
I also don't remember, because I'm trying to think back to the parts of Hooded Justice from the original book, not the book for Watchmen stuff where we forget that doesn't happen.
We just know that's the thing.
We never see his eyes at all.
And in the in between material, like the newspaper articles and stuff, like, nobody knows who he is. He's a mystery.
Yeah, they guess that it's some former like Russian wrestler or something.
Yes, but again, that's just.
But they guess. They still don't know.
Yeah, I think Will might be there as the original Hooded Justice show to show you where you come from, because you're also a superhero. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
That would be a very good twist.
Yes. Also, he has. We're kind of jumping around, but he has friends in high places. And like, the clocks go off at the same time that like he gets picked up by maybe another Night Owl vehicle, Archie. It could be the original Archie. I don't know. But he might have old friends in high places.
But still, high places. But
I watched this episode again and I didn't catch it until the second time, going, oh, this guy's real clever.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff going on, and there's and he talks about there's a big conspiracy happening in Tulsa. But I'm not going to tell you all the details because it's a television mystery show, so I'm going to spoon feed it to you. Right. And she's like, that's some bullshit, my man. Come on, I don't have much time for this.
Yeah.
So where do we go from there?
We finally...
She leaves him handcuffed and goes to the scene of the crime because she gets the call on the landline that's saying Judd's been...
And she's like, oh my god, this is the first time I've known about this.
Yeah.
Like, you're a good actor, girl.
Well, she is a good actress.
Yes. Well, because she puts it all in her voice, but her face is...
I go, oh my god. So she goes to the scene of the crime where all the superheroes are. We discover that the paparazzi
have... They're moths.
They're moths, and there's an old superhero called Mothman.
Yeah.
Who went crazy. So now they've used like his wing technology almost to become a bad...
There's actual like flying jetpack sort of things, but they're wings, and they use it... They use it to...
Personal drones.
Yeah, which is really cool, but at the same time, really weird.
Also, again, the technology of this world, like, there aren't cell phones, and there aren't, like, high sophisticated machinery, but paparazzi can fly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what an interesting world, like, how this developed, and I can't wait to see more of it. I don't know when this happens in the episode, but it's one brief scene of a newspaper stand.
Remember? Oh, this is in the beginning.
In the beginning? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not really mattering to the whole story. So
you're talking about the scene at the newspaper stand with the two guys talking, and we see the newspaper that say, "Squid showers baffle scientists."
Yes.
Or something to that effect.
So I guess this kind of confirms some stuff that we speculated last week, where I thought it happened more frequently, where it apparently doesn't. Because I don't think they would be writing about it the next day. It's like, oh, this happens every day. Why are we still writing about it? So it must happen infrequently enough for like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
And then so this is reminiscent from the comics of the two Bernies, who were a newspaper guy who ran a stand and the guy who gave him newspapers from the New Frontiersmen. So it's a direct parallel to that, and those guys unfortunately passed away in the big New York explosion or whatever. But it's cool to see them, like, time is a circle and things repeat themselves. But we're introduced to a young lady who comes and buys all the newspapers. And
not all, just like a big stack.
Sorry, a big stack, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the newspaper guy says, like, does she read all these papers? Implying that, like, this girl is buying these papers for some rich lady. Because, like, she's rolling around in an Escalade.
Yeah.
And she's like, of course she does, don't you? And he says, I read them, I just don't believe them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's some Watchmen skepticism.
That is some very good Watchmen skepticism.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Where do we go from there?
We finally find out what happened on White Knight.
Okay, yeah.
That was a pretty good reveal, because we were thinking something had to have happened. So what happens to that?
We're not quite there yet.
We're not quite there yet? Okay.
No.
But we do find out what happens. We'll talk about it later.
No, before that is when she's sitting in the car and Looking Glass gets in.
Yep, that one. That was a good scene.
Yes, that's Looking Glass is such an awesome character. It's much like Rorschach. He's not just like a good guy or a bad guy. Like, he straight up says, like, he's talking to her about her kids, and he's like, your kids? And she's like, mother effer, excuse me? And I'm like, okay, so he clearly has problems with her adopting those kids for some reason, which adds
we'll get into
a bad layer to his character.
I don't know if it's that he has a problem with it as much as it's like the way she said it. You know, like, my kids were in the house, and he's like, okay, but your kids?
Yeah, but because
it's only 3 years ago.
Yeah. He's a jerk.
I'm not saying that's fine. I'm saying that I don't know that it's necessarily that he has a problem with it. It's just an analysis of how quickly she's adopted into the saying of, like, these are my children now.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying that he doesn't have I don't think he has a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think he's just an asshole.
Yes, he is an asshole. Yes.
Oh, and also before Night Sister, when she went to the scene of the crime, like, all dressed up, she also had Will drink from a coffee mug.
Oh, was that at this time? Okay.
Yeah, this is because the coffee. She brings the coffee mug with her, and it's in like a plastic bag. So obviously she's there for a
Which
DNA
Looking
sample.
Glass picks up when he sits in the car.
Yeah. And was this before or after? When Will says that your chief of police had skeletons in his closet?
Oh yeah.
Is this like in their first meeting in the bakery, or is this later on?
He said that at the first meeting.
Yeah. And then that turns into a good joke later. But yeah, she gets his DNA from this mug and goes to this cultural center where you can basically find out who, like, it's Ancestry.com, but a real place.
Yeah.
And you can just do like a cotton swab test there. And I'm like, that's pretty cool feature. I'm cool with that.
The senator, is that the senator who wrote March?
No.
Okay.
No. But that is a real person who is political, and he had a show on PBS about ancestries and stuff in America. So that guy is a real public figure. They're like, hey, do you want to come do our Watchmen show?
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So she pretends to be Will.
An important note, the DNA test, they won't give you any results unless you are related to the event in 1921.
Yes, for the reparations in Tulsa, yes.
Yeah, so and I believe the act in the Watchmen universe is the racial violence. Oh man, I had it and I forgot it, but it's pretty much like an act where essentially the United States government is making amends for all the violence caused by Americans for said racial violence. Oh, I know what
white people.
Yeah, white people. Yeah. I know what happens next. So Red Scare knocks down. So the Moss get knocked down.
Oh yeah.
Red Scare is pissed. Looking Glass is pissed, but he's like more calm about it. So they go to Nixonville, which is where all the white people are.
Oh, real quick, hold on. That reminds me of a really great line from Looking Glass, where he's in the car again talking to Angela, and she calls him an asshole, and then he's like, yeah, but why am I crying under this mask?
No, she says, you really have a cold heart, don't you?
Yeah.
He says, then why am I crying under here?
And I'm like, oh, that's brutal, man.
And before where you're jumping to, that's when she's getting Judd down, is when we have the flashback. Because she has the flashback of holding her husband
this show
on White Knight.
Cements doing really, really good transitions. And the only show that it's like, so you have Edgar Wright, who does like comedic transitions, and then the only other one I think of really is like the Arrow TV show, because there's a lot of that going on, but a lot less, not as well done, I'll say that. Yeah. Lower budget stuff. But like the transition in the show, like
Haunting of Hill House did this really well.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's another good one, Haunting of Hill House. But then we see the White Knight. This is an interesting scene because this opens up the skeletons in the closet with Judd, I think, a little bit.
A tiny little bit, yeah.
So the White Knight happens, and she gets shot in the stomach, as we see. She stabs the first guy.
Just a few minutes to midnight.
Yeah, it's just clocks are big.
No, not only that, it's Christmas Eve.
It's literally. Yeah.
It's Christmas Eve.
Talk about
Angela and her husband are dancing, and her husband's talking about how right at midnight he's gonna open the big present under the tree, and she's like, "Oh no, you have to," classic husband-wife banter.
Cute stuff.
A very subtle noise happens. Angela freezes, says there's someone in the house. Second midnight hits, door busts open, 7th Cavalry member rushes in, Rorschach mask, shotgun, ready to rumble.
And she's a cop already, so she's moving around. So she stabs the first guy, and then she gets shot, and then we cut to before we see what happens to the second guy. And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Because I think the identity of that second person is vital to the show, and I'm not going to say that it's Judd. But I think it might be Judd, because once we reveal when she goes to his house later and she sees the Klan outfit, and it's not a Rorschach outfit, it's a Klan outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the skeleton in the closet.
So
I thought that was freaking fantastic.
It's
just, it was literally in his closet.
Yeah. It's just
a skeleton.
A show like this to be like, make you really love a character, and then go, oh, he might be a Nazi white supremacist asshole. And I'm like, he just died. Come on, guys, that's so sad.
I know.
But I really think the identity of that second shooter is important, and I think that Judd's past is coming back to haunt him, whether that means he's still part of the cavalry or he was once part of it. And I think maybe this retaliation of what's going on now is why he's dead now. But I definitely think Judd has some shitty past that's starting to come back to everyone in the town that he knows. And I can't wait to see that mystery unfold, because I think I'm onto that. I think I might be right.
All right.
But I don't want to be right, because Judd seems really cool.
I know.
There's definitely a question of, like, why did she survive the second attacker?
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think the only thing that steers me away from Judd on it is that if it was just, it's Judd, and he decided not to kill her, why wouldn't she question that?
Yeah. Because we don't see the end of the scene of what happens.
No, I know, I get that, but I'm saying, like, I feel that the second attacker would have had to have been stopped by somebody for her to accept what happened.
Yeah.
And it can't just be, Judd stopped him and he disappeared. Like, there has to be a body.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
For her,
you can
I
also
think.
see after the attack happens, it goes to White. Angela wakes up in a hospital bed. Judd is there. He's also in a hospital gown.
That's what I'm saying.
His arm is in a sling. She's like, "Hey, where's my husband?" Judd's like, "I told him to go home, change your clothes, get a shower. We've been here for 3 days," and he explains what happens. So the 7th Cavalry, the Rorschach mask guys, they hit 40 police officers' homes
At the same time.
At the exact same time on Christmas morning. And that's where he says the news is calling it the White Night, because all these white supremacists came out and just killed a whole bunch of police officers.
Most of them were sleeping.
Most of them were asleep, including Angela's partner and his wife. The parents of the kids that Angela apparently adopted.
Yep. Yeah. Again, pointing to when she wakes up and Judd's there, it's not pointing to any theories or anything, but when she's about to die, she sees the Rorschach guy and she closes her eyes, and then the first thing she sees when she opens up is Judd again. And I think that's just fun cinema stuff. But I think I'm like, oh, that's some good trickery too.
Yeah.
But Judd here seems like he does seem really emotional, and like I don't know if those wounds are real or not. We can't confirm anything.
Yeah.
But he does seem shaken up, like maybe something happened that he didn't expect.
And apparently, all of the Tulsa, the surviving members of the Tulsa Police Department quit.
Oh yeah, I would too. Yeah.
They're like, oh hell no, we're out.
But Angela's a badass. She's like, I'm not quitting. I want to get these guys. And Judd's like, I guess I can't quit either. Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah.
I'll be the chief of police still. So then do we go to? Go to the raid on Nixonville?
That's when we go to the raid on Nixonville.
Man, Red Scare's the worst and the best.
Red Scare is so mad.
He's really funny, but like in a really sadistic way.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, what's up, you racist?
And it's important to note that Angela's trying to pull it back.
Yes. And Looking Glass is just there, like, whatever, man. This is whatever.
Looking Glass is questioning it.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything about it.
Like, he's wondering what she knows that's making her be more reserved than she normally would.
Yes. But Red Scare is like, listen, you jerks, I don't care if you're part of the 7th Cavalry or not, we're going to round y'all up because y'all killed our chief. And there's a great line back at the crime scene where he's punching the Mothman, and Looking Glass is like, hey, stop it. And he's like, are you in charge? No. Well, who the F is? Because, like, this is chaos. So Red Scare is just fully going into it.
After the chief died, there's, like, an instant power vacuum. So it's like, oh, shit.
And Red Scare's just like, he's not, like, taking power, but he's like, if no one's here going to stop me, I'm going to do something about this.
Yeah.
He's definitely the aggressive one of the group. They start rounding people up, and then...
Well, first he's like, hey, come forward. We're going to question you all. And if you don't, because there's, like, this big, giant statue of Nixon doing the double peace sign thing. And at first he's like, if you don't come out, we're going to knock this sucker down.
We're going to tear down your
And then
idol.
we're going to come get you. A beer bottle gets thrown at him.
And he smiles, and he's like, roll him over.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Round them all up.
He's definitely like the comedian of this group. He's like, I love violence.
Yeah.
So they start having the fights, and people getting round up, and the police are getting attacked, and the people are getting attacked. And Looking Glass and Night Sister are just standing back. And then how do they end that confrontation?
She isn't getting involved, and he's questioning it.
Yeah.
And then in the midst of that, someone comes to take a swing at Looking Glass, and she sees it reflected in his mask.
That's
she
right.
fights him off.
That's a good touch.
And she beats the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And then she immediately leaves to her car because she's in distress.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done with this bullshit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then
We don't actually see what happens past that as far as the rounding up of Nixonville
Yeah.
No, we don't.
and the further outcome of that.
Because I want to say it cuts to her going to the cultural center to drop off the DNA swab
Yeah, it
to
does.
find
It
out
does.
who exactly Will is.
Okay,
It
so,
does.
so then is this when she goes back to the bakery?
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes back to...
No. Before all that, this is where we, if I'm timing it out right, this is where we see American Hero Story.
Okay, yeah.
Well, we see parts of it, and then she gets So we keep hearing about it's like tonight, American Hero Story, blah blah blah. But she goes back home, and there's this old white guy on her porch.
Oh, that's right!
Oh, yeah.
Whom
Yeah,
I believe is the Topher and his sister's grandfather.
Most
Yes.
likely, yeah.
But apparently is also a bit of a dick.
Yeah, because...
Also Bobby from Supernatural.
Oh, is he?
Oh, really?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like... It's one thing to show up and be like, hey, I want to see my grandkids or whatever. That's nice and all. But look how quickly he's ready to leave for some money.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, can we rain check your visitation day? And he's like, well, I'll take a real check. Because, I care, but, I like money. And then as she's writing the check, he's like, wow, you're putting those red Predations to good use, huh? And I was like, she's giving you money, my man.
Oh.
Oh, my God, you're terrible.
I think this is a matter of they don't have legal custody over the kids.
Uh-huh.
This is like a backroom deal,
Yeah.
not taken to the courts,
Mhm.
of they're paying him to keep the kids away from him
Okay.
for themselves, and he always comes around for more money with a threat of I'll take the kids away because he would have
Custody?
custody.
That
Like
makes sense.
if he's the nearest, closest surviving family member.
Yeah.
I think that's what the situation
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
We'll probably learn more of it as we go on, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
And I would imagine that the parents maybe just didn't get along with him very well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And he's kind of gaming the system just from the implication of the Red Predations line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cops obviously were not on board with that kind of ideology.
Yeah, so she goes inside, she talks to her husband who's playing with the daughters, and then she goes upstairs to Topher, the oldest son,
Yeah.
and she pretty much tells him the line I was mentioning to you guys last week about we know what the world is. It's like we don't see past the pretty colors, we know the world is just black and white.
Yeah, it's not like lollipops and rainbows.
Yeah, so she just bluntly tells him that his Uncle Judd is dead.
Mhm.
And he's just there playing with his magnetic toy set, which that's actually
Magna Hatton building blocks. And not just Magna Hatton because it's after Dr. Manhattan, but also did you see what the structure that he was building was?
What was he building?
It's the castle from Mars, and it's a castle that Ozymandias is living in. What does it mean? What does it mean? It's an important castle, but we still don't know why. But yeah, absolutely.
I did not
noticed
catch
that.
that.
I absolutely noticed that the first time. It's also called Magna Hattons because that's hilarious
Okay.
wordplay.
I see what you okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I really like Topher's reaction. He's like, well, he was a cop, so he had enemies. And he also wasn't my
all
uncle.
cops get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's also not my uncle, so he's much like Angela. He's reserving his emotions, but then it bursts out by him destroying his magnet Lego set.
Before he gets to that point, he says, "Don't tell the
Don't tell the kids.
Don't tell
I'll tell
Emma.
them, yeah.
Don't tell. I think Emma and Rose, are those the kids?
Maybe.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
one of them's Emma, but
Yeah.
he's like, don't tell the girls. He'll tell them eventually, and then he smacks the thing. He's like,
Can I watch
TV?
Can I watch TV, please?
He's like, that was whoa.
Hey, man,
okay.
we all handle our
Yeah,
emotions
we
differently.
handle grief and
Yeah.
Remember that he was grounded from television in the previous episode
Oh,
for
yeah.
attacking the kid in the
Oh,
classroom.
yeah, that's right.
So
Right.
so he's using the opportunity of what's happening
Good.
To be able to get his television viewing
It's a good call, that.
rights back.
Is this where we go from here? Do we go to the
This
party?
is because
or-
he's gonna watch TV. What's
Yeah.
he gonna watch? He's gonna watch American
That's right.
Hero
Yeah.
Story while she's heading off for the party.
The party?
At Judd's wife's house because her husband feels like she should go to that.
Well, she does go. Eventually, she does go back to the bakery.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there.
This is before the party.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
this is the American Hero Story part.
Yeah, she's about to leave because when she came back, her husband said, "Hey,
You
Judd's
should
wife."
go. Yeah.
Yeah, Judd's wife called. You should go.
Yep.
I'll watch
There's
the
a good
kids."
line though here that Angela asked him how did she sound on the phone,
Okay.
and he says she sounded fine, but I know she's not. She's lying. I can tell when she's not feeling good or whatever. And he says just like you. And I think that's building a little bit of not drama between them, but they have problems in their relationship that we haven't seen yet because it's mostly been about other things. But I think there might be some drama between them happening soon.
That wasn't the read I got.
No, what read you got?
Because
he said like you, and then like
no, I know.
Very
He said he said that like she said that she's fine, but I could tell that she isn't.
Yeah.
She's holding it back just like you, which I think is more just him knowing her and saying that you're burying
emotionally
it.
reserved.
You're burying it.
Okay. Yeah.
And he knows. I don't think it's a tension thing. I think it's a fact of like, I recognize that you're burying this. I know you're hurting.
That's a better reason.
Which is part of the reason why he's like, you should go to this.
Yeah.
You're in pain.
Because he can tell that something really bad just happened to her. So he's like, oh, I know what she's gonna do. She like emotions buried, guard is up, like everything is like just carry on as normal as if nothing happened.
Good read.
But he knows that something bad's going on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then now do you go to the bakery or do you go to the party?
Bakery.
This is where American Hero Story plays.
Okay. Talk about American Hero Story.
Which is all about the Hooded Justice episode.
Okay.
Where he breaks in, and it's you and I said it's a combination of Zack Snyder and Edgar Wright style.
Yeah. I would just say more just Zack Snyder.
I got some Zack Snyder vibe, but also I got the vibe of, well, not the vibe, but I was also very interested in how this show opened. It was like warning. It's kind of like how with like late night TV shows they say warning. This show contains graphic violence.
A lot of those.
A lot of stuff, but it also said this show contains like the views depicted on the show do not reflect the views of the station, especially those against. There's racism in the show. There's misogyny. There's violence against LGBTQ plus people. I was like, they're going for everything.
Yes, they want you to know you're going to be offended.
Yeah, and there's even a little, and if you caught it, there's in the corner, you know where the TV ratings are? It said TV X.
X-rated, baby, and kids are watching it.
I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
they tell
new.
kids not to watch it.
Yeah, they actually...
Not even with adult supervision should they watch it.
And there was Toko.
I mean, of course he's doing it,
Yeah,
and they don't even care.
Because that's definitely stopped me.
But that's what they said.
When I watched horror movies as a kid, that definitely stopped me.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't stop you, but what's interesting is that they go so far as to say, even with you sitting there, parent, the kids shouldn't watch this.
Yeah.
Which isn't something you usually hear.
And as we're watching this, we're also getting cuts of 7th Cavalry members who are also watching it, but they're also making suicide
People all over.
vests.
People all over.
Everyone's doing something.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching it except for Ozymandias.
Yeah, he's busy doing his own TV productions. But yeah, the 7th Cavalry is making suicide bombs. I wonder if they're using the batteries from all the watches.
Probably.
Or that's a different thing. But yeah, they're doing bad stuff.
They are doing very
They're
bad
also
stuff.
smoking while they're installing like destructive material.
They're dumb.
You guys are dumb.
So what did you guys think of the Hooded Justice segment?
I think it's super interesting, again, that I think it's relating to Angela's story about, like, who am I under this mask, and relating to Hooded Justice maybe being Will. Again, I just thought it was like, oh, they're definitely parodying Zack Snyder. It's like, there's no way it's not. It's 100% like, hey, you want Watchmen? You got Watchmen, baby.
Like, especially when he bursts through the window and it's all slow motion.
Oh my god, it's so
the
silly.
Fight scene, I was like, wow,
why did I just walk through the door, my man?
All the blood.
Oh, so much blood. Yeah.
Like the way it did it. You know?
Like the blood flies out like 300.
Like just the comparison of like violence in the first episode to violence in this.
But I did like
violence at Nixonville compared like when she's punching the guy with the way the blood is handled there and then the way the blood is handled here.
But I did like how there's like a narration is like, oh, they think this is me, but it's not. And then it's like, who am I? If I knew that, I would be wearing the effing mask.
Yes. Right. I think the American Hero Story is going to be our
Black Freighter
comic,
yes.
I am into that.
Yes.
I am so into that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we watched a little... I'm sure we're going to get, like, a section of this show throughout the entire season. Yeah. Which is Watchmen-esque. That's pretty good. So then, are we at the party now?
Uh-huh.
Party time!
Party time!
Party time. Bunch of people Angela doesn't know. Judd had a lot of friends.
The senator.
Joe.
Oh, yeah, Joe King Jr.
Yeah,
we see him.
Joe King is there, because he's a joker. And he's like, Angela, hello, I'm tall and handsome, and like, do you have my vote? And like, she used to work for me, haha, her husband's dead, right? And like, maybe now's not the time to joke about that.
And then she fake faints.
Yes, that's brilliant.
She also denies being a cop to the senator.
Yeah, she does.
Which I think, does that maybe imply that he knows that she's Knight's sister?
I think it implies that he's definitely suspicious of it, but more interestingly than that, it implies a whole lot of like secrets kept on the government level by the police force.
Yeah.
But that's how deep that runs, where they're trying to hide police identities even from higher ups of certain people, which I would imagine means Looking Glass is probably someone that they don't know who he is.
Red
and
Scare,
that he's part of
he's
it. Red
some
Scare
Russian
as well.
guy, yeah.
I would imagine regular police force they're aware of. I'm sure that they're aware of some people who are cops.
Yeah.
But definitely not the big ones.
Yeah, I'm sure
the ones who commit the biggest egregious crimes in the name of the law that is happening, because obviously what Angela's doing, at least by our standards, we don't know the law anymore in Watchmen world, but at least by our standards, they're breaking the law in the way that they handle these things. Their identities don't seem to get shared with higher ups at government, which I think is an important detail.
Yeah.
How in the dark is the senator and other people?
Yeah.
They didn't just introduce him in that little detail for nothing.
I don't know if this guy has the charisma to beat Robert Redford after 30 years of service. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Nobody can.
Nobody can?
Sam Jackson's not showing up in this show.
Oh, that's season 2. Season 2, baby. Angela's talking to Judd's wife, and Angela passes out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh no, is she gonna be okay? And then she gets brought upstairs to the bedroom, and Judd's wife is taking care of her, and Angela's like, oh, I didn't expect for you to take care of me. I'm so sorry. And she's like, girl, don't worry about it. You sleep it off. You take as much time as you want. And Angela's like, oh, thanks.
She also whispers, you find the guys who did this and you bring them down.
Yes. And then Angela does the most cold-blooded, she's all weepy, and then her eyes open up. And you're you're not sick.
The second Judd's wife leaves, the second she hears the door click, and she gives it a few seconds, and then she gets up, takes out the X-ray goggles, and she's looking around. She's trying to find. She's like, okay, what was Will saying? What was Will saying about dirt or
stuff in his closet?
Skeletons in the closet. What was he saying about that?
So Night Owl goggles are featured. Again, the Tulsa police have this equipment. So there's something incredible that HBO is doing. It's called hbo.com/PDpedia, and it's the Watchmen Universe's Wikipedia. So it has a bunch of articles about fake historical events, and Night Owl did commission his work for the police force, and he made a bunch of money off of it. So
awesome.
That's true. That's why places like Tulsa can have.
So this is official.
This is official. Yes.
Oh.
There's an entire website. If you have the time or interested, go check out PDpedia on HBO's website. It's really cool. It's like a really cool fun thing. They update it every Monday after the last episode. It's pretty cool. Check it out. But yeah, she goes creeping in Judd's closet, and much like the comedian having a little panel that opens up to his costume, we find out Judd has a Klan outfit.
Well, first, we just see, the mannequin
of,
a costume thing. So she's like, what's that? She opens the door, and...
It's not a Rorschach mask, it's a Klan outfit.
Well, first, because we see there's, there's, a mirror or something in the background. Mm-hmm. That's where we see it first, and we see her face. And I'm the whole time sitting there, eating my noodles, being excited, loving the show. I'm like, oh, man, what is she finding? The second I see the light, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I'll tell you what.
No. But, you know.
When she was doing the X-ray goggles and the mannequin thing, I thought, oh my god, is he the original Night Owl? For a split second. And I was like, that would be a fun little twist if he
Hollis Space is dead!
No, Dan Dryberg. The second Night Owl.
Oh, okay.
Night Owl... Sorry.
You said the original Night Owl.
Sorry, the second Night Owl, excuse me.
There you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. Will's alive and he's 105.
Okay.
But also Hollis got his face beaten by bad guys. So, anyway, I thought for a second, I was like, oh my god, is that going to be Dan Dryberg, in Witness Protection? And then I'm like, no, it's a Klan member. Oh boy.
Did you notice the badge on it too?
Yeah.
Do you think that's Judd's?
I don't know. That's the thing.
See, my initial instinct is that I'm like, I don't think you can take things at face value anymore.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's his.
So
I think it's a family member's or even a grandfather's.
Yeah.
But more than likely a dad's.
Yeah.
And there's a complicated relationship there and a complicated sense of admiration. Mm-hmm. But also I would think if it's not Judd's, a lot of what Judd is doing with the police force is out of a sense of white guilt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to fix the problems of the past.
Right.
Yeah.
It's less a tribute and more of a
reminder.
A reminder of the thing you're trying to make up for.
Why keep it? It's such an easy place to find.
Well, it wasn't really an easy place to find.
Well, I mean, if you're a police officer,
behind a secret lever that only he
on
can
a
access.
mannequin.
I'm just saying, Ben. If you told me
how long was Angela in there before she found it?
All right,
it was pretty fast.
Come on, that was not.
Also, she's a detective. She knows where to look for these kind of things. I'm just saying, I think it's more of a reminder because like I don't think he would have it displayed unless it was super important.
Like obviously when we first see the clan costume, my first thought is, oh shit, Judd's a racist.
Yeah.
And then just looking back at all the times he was with Angela at the hospital, working with her when she rounded up that white supremacist guy in the first episode, all the stuff he's been doing, it's like my brain just goes, okay, face value, he's a clan member.
Right.
Not face value, it's his father's or a family member's, and he is trying to correct
I don't think it's the plant. I don't think it's fake.
No, I don't think it's fake.
Yeah.
It's either his or I think it is a family member's.
And I thought this. I'm sorry. I thought the same thing you did, Sparks. Is that was a reminder of us, like, hey, my family they were dicks. They were part of the riots in Tulsa. Years ago. I'm here to correct that. I'm here to make sure that never happens again.
The wrinkle in that is that Will felt like Judd needed to be hung.
Yes.
So that's the wrinkle in that. But that also begs the question: is Will actually a good guy?
Do you still believe that 105-year-old man hung Judd? Do you guys believe that?
No.
I don't.
He keeps saying it, but no. The way he keeps saying
if he's hooded justice, I do.
See, that's the thing.
See, like I like it can go either way.
Yeah.
What I'm leaning towards right now, I'll say, is that I don't believe Will is a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a good guy. I think he thinks he understands more than he actually does.
Yeah.
And he's acting on it. Because I think a lot of what we're seeing in his history has led him to distrust a lot of what's happening in the world.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I don't think that he's necessarily a bad person directly, but I think that he is misguided.
Yeah, okay.
But just the way he kept saying...
With the information we have at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the way he kept saying, I am the person who strung up your chief of police, because the way it feels like it was an anti-interrogation technique.
Yeah.
Where he was like, just say the same thing over and over again, they're going to drop it.
It's like, if I keep saying it, will you believe me?
Exactly, yeah.
And
obviously Angela's like, oh no, you're bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah, he definitely is not, he doesn't seem to be super powered or anything like that. But he definitely does seem to be smart. He's definitely doing some stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll find out.
And he has friends.
In high places.
Right.
Literally.
Goodness gracious.
Who may or may not be the people who are misleading him.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like, I don't know that I'm convinced.
They're using him, yeah.
Right. I'm not convinced that Will is necessarily the good word, and we need to take his word at face value. Nor do I think that we should just implicitly trust Judd was a good guy. But
that's the thing about Watchmen,
now at episode 2, I lean towards, I think Judd's whole thing looks bad.
Yeah.
But it was a reminder, and he was trying to make up for it. And I think Will is being misled, and he killed Judd with the wrong information.
We are being misdirected.
Sure.
Yeah. To seem like, these people should be flip-flopping.
And Angela, more importantly, is being misdirected.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So now she goes back to the bakery.
Yes.
Nope. Ozymandias.
Well, we got to talk about the painting, though.
That's right.
What's the name of this episode again?
Yeah, Martial Feats of Comanche Horsemanship.
Okay, so I didn't know what that meant.
Until we saw the painting.
And then you're seeing the painting.
But still then, I was like, okay, cool, and I went on Twitter. It's a tactic that the Comanches used where they would hang sideways on the side of horses as a shield, as basically a meat shield.
Yeah.
So that can mean many different things for this episode, including stuff from the last episode. So I'm just like, I'll think about that stuff later. I'm not too sure yet. Bakery?
No, Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. It goes from horses to horses.
Because we end at the bakery.
That's right, yeah.
You're right, we do it.
It zooms in on
because
the
it's playing the operatic music as we're looking at the painting, and then where are we? We're with Ozzy.
Yeah, baby.
We're with Jeremy Irons again, who's riding his horse. He takes a tomato from a tomato tree.
Yes.
Not a tomato vine.
Yes.
And a tomato tree. What the damn hell?
So I don't, it's full, like, spoilers for my life, I don't eat many tomatoes. So I didn't immediately catch that until somebody on Twitter saying, yo, is that a tomato tree? And I'm like, what's the deal? Oh, wait a minute, yeah.
Okay, I am definitely not a botanist.
Yeah.
But my mother did grow tomatoes in our backyard when I was growing up. Tomatoes grow from a vine.
Yes, and we will learn later.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we will learn later.
That was pretty cool, but I'm still like,
what? Ozzy is dealing with, like, biology creating things that are weird, and it starts with a tomato tree. Later, it turns into The Prestige, starring Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
So you said last episode that we might be playing with time.
Yes.
Do you think we are still playing with time?
No, I think his clone people might just be stupid.
Or are we a year later?
Because there's two.
Because he's writing the play.
Yes.
And we questioned why they would be doing the anniversary, if it is the anniversary of the Squid event, and we're not hearing about it on the news.
Yes, that's true.
Or we're not hearing anybody talk about it.
And then they're doing He's a Jolly Good Fellow again. He's like,
they're doing He's a Jolly Good Fellow again. The play is finished, and now they're performing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh.
And again, there was two. There
were now
candles.
2 candles.
Yes, so this is a year later, possibly.
I'm just saying.
Were there 2 candles in the first episode?
No, there was one.
There was
definitely
one.
Yeah.
Just one.
And then this one there were 2 because I saw it the second time I watched the episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not convinced that it's the next day.
Yeah.
I think it is now a year later, and I think we're seeing things that have happened a while ago.
Yes.
Huh.
I don't know. Now how?
I don't know that.
Yes.
But the information we have, I'm like, one day he was writing the play, just working on it. The next day he's more exasperated and tired of their stuff, and he's like, just get to the play. Let's do it right tonight. Implying that they've done it more than once, and he was just writing it the time before.
When is a lie not a lie?
So how is this the next day?
When is a lie not a lie?
Oh.
When it's acting. Real tears, Miss Crookshanks.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so good.
So I believe that at that first year, we only had 2 that he created.
Also,
he created more.
Yes.
We are now a year ahead of that last
I don't know how long
we saw
tomatoes take to grow, but I'm sure it takes more than one day. So I think actually that might be a show that the tree grew and got the tomatoes.
Yes.
Yeah. I think you might be right, my man. And I think maybe like more time will go on, and like the end of his stuff will tie into the beginning of the stuff.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah, this is good stuff. Of course, like we don't know, but that's pretty likely. I think that sounds pretty good.
Which I wouldn't be surprised because the cavalry said something about like in 2 days or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if we should be coming up on that next day soon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the anniversary, and then we're tying how many anniversaries Ozzy's gone through to get to this one.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
So yeah.
So the X-Files theme song is now playing in my head.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
what does it mean?
Yeah, exactly. What does it mean?
That's watching one candle become 2. Just
It's like.
So his play is a reenactment of John Arston's
the creation of Dr. Manhattan.
John's life as becoming Dr. Manhattan in Gila Flats, 1959. And it's all the great dialogue of like, oh, I've had such great 6 months with you, Jeannie. Oh, where's my watch? Confound it, I can't find it.
I left it in the thingy.
I left it in the intrinsic field center. And it's like
he's so eager to blow him up.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Ozzy is like reciting lines as he's watching it. Like he's so enamored with his own play. Very egotistical.
Well, also Miss Crookshanks forgets the line.
Yeah.
And he's like tighter than a Gordian knot, woman.
Yeah.
It was a really complicated line.
It is.
But the words Gordian knot were in there.
Yeah.
No, I know.
It
was really complicated. It was like the one really complicated.
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan gets made. Like the intrinsic field thing goes off.
By made, he means the dude is
Mr.
set
Phillips,
on fire.
Mr. Phillips is incinerated.
Real fire. He apparently dies, and then another dude, painted completely blue,
Real kills Mr.
completely naked, wearing a fencing mask with the Dr. Manhattan eyes and the hydrogen symbol, comes down and does this whole grand speech of how he is now Dr. Manhattan.
I am the past, present, and the future. And it's not a real big thing, but like having that dude just be naked like Dr. Manhattan, it's a silly little touch, and I'm like, Ozzy wouldn't,
and also the stagehands, they all are wearing black masks.
Yes,
they have black hoods on. You can't see
all
their
the
face.
musicians and stagehands, and then it's revealed when the show is a rousing success, and they all come out to do a bow. They all take off their masks, and they're all just clones of Mrs. Crookshanks and Mr. Phillips.
Yeah,
and they're all just a bunch of clone people.
And apparently, they have to earn the name of Mr. Phillips because they open the door and there he is. And then there's like, what's your name again? I forget. Miguel? Or I think it's Miguel. I could be wrong.
He's
like,
it's some
how
weird
would you
name,
like to be the new Mr. Phillips? Oh, I'd be honored, sir. What should I do with this one? Throw him in? Yes, the basement will do. That's fine. It's like,
there's a great line the first time to interact. Like for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, that part, and what is it like? Would you like it to occur to me? What's the line?
Oh yeah, there was a great line.
It made me laugh so good.
It was him like giving shade, throwing a live shade to Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I wish I could remember the line because it's so good. But this Mr. Phillips is a clone guy and his brain's all messed up, and Ozzy loves making fun of him.
Now explains the horseshoe bit in the first episode.
Yes, they are clones with a little bit of problems.
And we thought they were robots.
I didn't.
At least I thought they were robots.
Nah, man. Tomato trees, baby. He has the play. And then he gets the watch from Mr. Phillips' dead hand, and it's like, what time is it? Did you guys see?
It was 10 minutes to midnight.
Yes, and in the Watchmen
Doomsday clock.
Yes, and in the real Doomsday clock in the world, the real thing. The closer it gets to midnight, the closer we are to the nuclear apocalypse. That's big in the Watchmen universe too. It's symbolizing how close shit is hitting the fan.
So he opens it up and he's like, everything is beginning. Flicks it and it starts moving.
Yeah. This is a Crookshanks. He's like, "Is it over, sir?" And he's like, "No, this is just the beginning." And I'm like, "Oh." So like he's just doing his own thing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious how he's going to actually play into the whole plot of the show. Do you have any ideas at all?
I don't know.
I think
seriously, Ozymandias is just so out of left field that whenever we go to him, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he's in there. And then I'm watching what he's doing. I'm like, this is bonkers.
This is going to be like the Sixth Life in House of X and Powers of 10. Or like it's going to take to like the final issue, like it all makes sense.
It's probably going to take to the final episode where I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah. Does the episode end there?
No, it ends. It goes back to the bakery with
Angela. That's right. High places.
But before we go back to the bakery, how many times do you think? I think this is the first time he's had the play go all the way through like that.
Yes.
Successfully.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the watch.
Yeah, I agree.
The watch is unstopped and unburnt.
He also, when Mr. Phillips was like, well,
it's kind of burnt.
Mr. Phillips, or Ozzy, can I have the watch?
I'm saying before he does the play that night, it's clean.
Right.
When he gives it back to Mr. Phillips before the play, and then the watch is burnt, destroyed, and he's like, now everything begins. And so kind of the implication of like, this is the first time the play has gone off without a hitch.
Gotcha.
And gone all the way through.
Gotcha.
I did see some theories online of like, Ozzy is like obsessed with Dr. Manhattan, and like he's so bored of this. Like
obviously,
like he's trying to figure out a way to like get closer to him. So like maybe by like experiencing his life, he gets closer to him in some way. And like that sounds fine, but like I need a better reason. Just like, oh, he beat me once. Shame on him. Because like Dr. Manhattan doesn't really care.
No,
he's doing shit on Mars for some reason.
I think he's obsessively trying to understand what Dr. Manhattan meant when he left.
Yeah, okay, yeah. What does it mean? Nothing ever ends.
Because he said nothing ever ends, and he said, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And Dr. Manhattan didn't answer him.
Yeah. And so, we go back to the bakery then.
Yeah.
He's got friends at high places. Angela discovers that that he is her grandfather.
She gets the call because she left her number.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she finds out that, yes, he was there, and she asks if he has relatives, who the descendants are.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, is the lady named Angela related to this guy?
Yeah.
And the phone's like, hell yeah, it's her granddaddy.
Yeah.
And then the second that she hears that on the phone, Will says, your parents ever told you about me? And like it's not like he knew what the phone call was going to be, unless he did, but the guy doesn't have psychic powers. So I'm like, how does this guy know so much? He's so smart. And he's just like an old kind of wheelchair. What does it mean?
Also, they have this great little back and forth with the clan costume, with the clan outfit, because they're like, "Where'd you find it?" She's like, "Well, where'd you find it? In his closet." In his closet?
Yeah.
When I said skeletons in his closet, I didn't actually mean his closet.
He doesn't necessarily say that, but like he does say
he's goofing with her.
Yeah.
He definitely.
That was in his closet.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, even though she just finds out that this might be her actual grandfather, she decides to arrest him.
Not mine. Is.
Yeah. Okay. Is. Yeah. They don't lie. 21st century.
I think that there's a system of like
of a down
unbiased trust built around like things related to the Redfordations.
Yeah.
And the way that the science breaks down and all that. So she knows that if she turned in his DNA and it says he was there, he's this person, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
And it also says she's his descendant, that's also 100% true.
That's true, you're right, yeah. So she goes to go turn him in, and
well, she gets him in her car.
Yeah, so real quick though, but she's wheeling him out, and he's like looking up in the sky.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch that the first time. The second time, I'm like, I see what you're looking for. And she gets him in his car, and she shuts the door, and then she's gonna go put his wheelchair in the back. A giant magnet comes down, and just attaches itself to the car, and she's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What?"
So the magnet attaches. You see in the rearview mirror that he's looking back at her, smiling, and there's this airship, which might be an Archie airship.
It has like the propellers on the back,
and it lifts it up, and she's just standing there going, "What the fuck?
What is going on now?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh."
That's where it ends.
Yeah. I think again, you might be onto something where like maybe the people that are influencing him might be also bad. Because like, why would you just kidnap this guy? Like, why would you need to be this dramatic about getting this guy? Because like,
I think he's much more a pawn than he thinks he is.
yes, yeah, okay, yeah, I buy that.
Yeah, I see that too.
Okay, yeah, and then that's...
I feel like if the episodes continue as they have been, there's what we're going to see each episode now is an opening that's related to Will, and a mid-piece that is about the American hero story.
Ozzy.
And yes, of course, Ozzy, but I'm saying those specific things that are filling in like history gaps.
Oh yeah.
Ozzy is too, I guess. But if you're correct about the theory that the Hooded Justice is Will, then it's both of those points are kind of crescendoing into what happened to him. But what we've seen so far with his character is a whole lot of reason to not trust in the system and not trust in things like what we have seen happen with Redfordations, with what the police force was trying to do. And it's easy to understand how, when guided with a certain hand in a direction, Will would be convinced that Judd was a bad person, that what he's now doing is pointing things in the right direction. I don't think, I'll put it this way, I don't think he's connected to the cavalry.
Will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if he is, it's in a very tertiary way where he's not aware of it. It's not direct. It would have to be somebody who has more control in the cavalry.
Is that
not
over it? Is that not the conspiracy he's talking about?
I don't know that it is.
Okay.
I don't know that the cavalry is part of the conspiracy he's concerned about, because I don't think there's anything conspiratorial about the way that Will's coming at it, about the cavalry itself. Like, obviously, the cavalry is driven by the conspiracy of Rorschach, but I don't think that's what he's tackling. I don't think that's what Will's driving at. I think Will's driving at a corruption in the police system and the way the Redfordations are set up. I think he's trying to say, like, you think this is great, it's not. I think that's Will's intent. And again, like, I think it's misguided.
Yeah.
But I do think that's his intent. Now, this is where I think potentially the senator is important. Like, again, they didn't just introduce him for nothing.
He did mention, like, I'll give you all the weaponry and shit that you need to take down these animals. And he called them animals. So it's like, he might be like, he seemed like a good guy, but he's calling people animals, so, yeah.
And the senator could be connected to the cavalry or not, but I would say that even if it's not the senator, that's more the type of person I think Will's responding to. Whether or not they're connected to the cavalry or not, he doesn't know that.
And if Will is like the Hooded Justice like idea, if he is an ex-vigilante, his entire world was like taken from him because of the kidnaps and stuff. And then like before that, like he was part of the Minutemen in the 40s, and then later like all of like his legacy was like tarnished, and now it's being told in this shitty American hero story. So his own legacy,
which is clearly a white man under the hood.
Yes,
in
exactly.
The show.
He's clearly. I think he might be pissed about what's going on, like with his legacy, and like we tried to be good people, and now you guys are using our image for police brutality.
You know what? It makes sense that he was Hooded Justice, because in the first episode he was a huge fan of that Black Marshal character.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you're right.
And the timeline adds up because like the Minutemen were in the 40s and 50s, and like he would have been that age.
Just to point in the other direction, was capturing a hooded man.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And also, why? I've always wondered, because even the original book...
Because we kind of mentioned this, that the Hooded Justice, the character who's appearing in American Hero Story, Hooded Justice, he's very Klan-esque in design. Not in color or scheming or even representation, but just basic silhouette.
Yeah, his name's Hooded Justice.
Right.
But not only that, I've always wondered, even in the original book, why does Hooded Justice have a noose over his neck?
That's a very good question. I think that's what's going to tie into Will and like black people and stuff like that.
It could be a representation of Will saying this is for all the black people who were lynched.
Yes.
For no good reason.
Alan Moore might have accidentally made a really,
he probably did.
Really potent,
potent
black superhero in a way that like he was never meant to be that, and I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Especially because like if that's the story of like the white people have taken it from him, I'm like that's so. Of course they did. Now they make a shitty show about it. I love it. Man, this show's great.
Now, that being said, let's assume, possibly, that Hooded Justice isn't Will.
Yeah.
Who else could it be? There's a reason we're seeing the American Hero Story.
Exactly,
Yeah, it could possibly be that Russian strong man from the circus, or it could be someone completely different.
Or Judd?
Judd's not the right age for Hooded Justice. Hooded Justice, like he was like in his prime, like in the 40s.
Okay.
No, yeah, he has.
Yeah.
That's why Will being 105 makes a lot of sense for people online.
Judd's father?
Yes, possibly. Yes.
I'm saying in the
Yeah.
hypothetical that it's not Will,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
else are we seeing it?
Yeah.
Why is Hooded Justice also similar design to a clan outfit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is there a clan outfit in Judd's
To
closet?
So Judd's dad
repurpose.
was-
Again,
Yeah.
it's not my prevailing theory. I
Right.
kind of agree with the Will one.
Yeah.
I'm just positing the potential
That
that
is
it
a good
isn't Will.
theory.
Is this the other end of it? Because
So-
isn't that the American public at this time being fed a story about Judd's family, at least,
Mhm.
where he comes from,
Yeah.
and Will saying this isn't right?
Huh. So Judd's grandpa was a clan member. Judd's dad was Hooded Justice, and Judd became. That's actually a pretty interesting theory.
It could work.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sold on that one. I'm just trying to think of
Well,
if
obviously
we're wrong
Judd-
about Will being Hooded Justice. Who else could it be? Why would
You're
it
right,
be relevant?
Yeah.
And my other indication is that Judd would be connected
Because
to it.
obviously Judd's dad or Judd's family is going to play a major role in this. Because in this episode again, we get a focused shot of the picture
Sure.
of
Yeah.
obviously young Judd and an older man wearing a police uniform, whom we believe to be Judd's.
I wonder
Judd's
if
dad.
that guy is the clan man.
Could be.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's why I feel like there are the pieces there to explain that Judd's history is complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Judd may, by Will, being punished for something his family did while he was trying to make amends for it. Let's assume that Hooded Justice was related to Judd's family. He was hung, and Hooded Justice had a noose around his neck. Like, there's still connecting tissue, even if it's not Will.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man.
Theories abound here on the Fake
That's
Nerd Watch fans.
so much.
Yeah, I love it. I love that the show will just ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get the answers right away. That's
No,
fine. That's okay.
even in 2 episodes.
It's like Twin Peaks.
Here's the thing: in 2 episodes, we've got a few questions answered, but we still have a lot more unanswered, and they're still feeding us more. And I am loving this show.
Yeah, yeah. And I know, again, like, we've seen from the previews, like, other characters are getting introduced. Like, we're going to meet
Lori Blake.
Lori Blake, and I'm like, oh my god, like, the choice to take her father's name is such an interesting character choice, and I can't wait to see why and who she's become. Because she's the only character besides Ozzy who was around for the original Watchmen, but like he doesn't interact with regular people.
Right.
He's isolated.
Right.
So
she's going to be in the middle of
I can't wait to see if she's just like, if she's like a crazy conspiracy theorist person, or if she's like super hard and just like, I know what happened, but I don't give a shit. Just like, I'm super interested.
Apparently, she's an FBI agent.
Yeah, I think that's like, man, what a career choice to make.
Did you
That's
see
cool.
the previews for next week?
I think we watched.
we did.
We did watch it. Yeah.
No, because I just love it when it's like, who are you? My name's Lori Blake. Who the F are you?
Yeah. Yeah. So she might be like a famous figure, actually. She did bang Dr. Manhattan, so I mean.
Yeah.
And was a superhero.
And was a superhero.
Yeah.
And her mom was a famous superhero, too.
Yep.
She's got a legacy. But we'll find out, I guess, on next week's episode.
Going back to the title of the episode and the painting, do you want to posit any
So using
thoughts on it?
So using a horse as a shield, basically like using someone else as cover, could be talking about Judd with the clan outfit. He's like, that's a shield for something else. Besides that, I can't. I probably have to think about it more.
Or opposite of that the police chief was a shield.
Yeah, and he does say it's my funeral. So yeah, like he could have been the shield to protect against some bigger thing that was going to happen. That is, yeah.
There's also an idea. Of
Also,
like,
why is Will there? Will there? Like they have to be connected somehow, right?
Also, there is an idea of like when they do that, they are in essence, in some ways, sacrificing the horse to save their lives.
Yeah.
Judd could be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In himself. There's ways to think about that.
Yeah.
So
This show has so many freaking layers to it. Oh my gosh.
It's like an onion.
Yeah.
I love it. So I think that'll wrap it up for this episode, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a rousing talk, gents. I love talking about this every week. I'm so glad Watchmen's here, and it's good, because I don't want to talk about a bad Watchmen show, let me tell you.
that would suck.
Yeah. So until next time, what's the rigmarole that we do? I never remember.
Oh, okay, I'll do it.
I just never remember.
Hey, we're here on YouTube. We're all members of the Fake
Yeah,
Nerd
okay.
podcast with our friend at Brandon T. McClure. I just used
His name is Brandon McClure.
No, he's BT McClure.
It's been a long day. At BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter, if you care. He's not here. Yeah, so we run Fake Nerd podcast with him. We talk about all kinds of stuff. like Watchmen, but not Watchmen.
Episodes
because we
every
do that
Sunday.
here. Episodes every. We
Monday.
record every Sunday.
Monday to Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday's episode. Listen, it comes out on a day of the week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, we record on Sunday.
Almost always before Friday.
The Lord's
when
Day.
when they come out, it's sometimes it's crap. Stuff happens.
Life's
Guys.
hard,
We're
guys.
sorry.
Life's hard.
Life's hard.
We got so many spooky things though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are uploading the last of our spooky games. They should be up at this moment, actually.
Mm-hmm.
On
Down there.
Basement Arcade for Halloween, which has now, by the time you're watching this, probably passed.
Happy Halloween.
Woo.
Where Ben played spooky games.
Yes, I
And
did.
Ryan and I played Blair Witch. All that happened. Outside of that, they're also playing through Sonic Mania.
Yes, we
for
are.
Basement
Gotta go
Arcade.
speedy fast.
We are still in the midst of, hopefully next week we'll have things slow down enough that potentially when we get back together to do Watchmen, we'll also have time to talk about the next 2 episodes of Dark Crystal.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We'll aim for that. Because I'd like to get Dark Crystal done before Mandalorian drops.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
oh shit, that's right.
Hell
Oh
yeah,
god,
That's
oh.
approaching fast.
Woo.
Anyway,
Too much content.
so you can catch up on our podcast episodes anywhere that you listen to podcasts, Podbean,
Stitcher,
iTunes, the
Google
podcast
Play.
app on your phone, whatever. You can listen to us all there. We are uploading those episodes to YouTube slowly. And outside of that, you can find me at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm DJ Tony Snark at everything. Just type it in. I'm there.
I'm Ben Magner27 on Instagram and Twitter.
Until next time, guys.
Watchmen!
Catus, Catus, Cotus, Gotus, Catus, Catus.
That's not how you do it.
That's nice.
Stay fake nerds!